Okay, why am I not getting a countdown anymore? Good morning, Miss Triple P. You and the babies, maybe? Well, good morning, Miss and Miss Pruitt. I didn't expect to see you in here. Thank you for coming. Miss Britton family are getting ready to go to Disney World, Brenda. Who do you have with you this morning, Britt? I think they're going down for Earth Day, if I'm not mistaken, to celebrate at Animal Kingdom. Too bad we're not going then, too. But that's the way the old cookie crumbles these days. Karki, there you are. I'm glad you showed up. I got to run some errands after coffee show's over this morning. So I've decided that instead of a hook, I'm just going to put you in a bowl by the front door. You think that'd work any better? Ah, Frozen. Well, I can certainly understand Frozen ranking way over me. Miss Carol, are you running? Was it soccer practice or hockey practice today? Yeah, I know. I know that's a big deal with Josh. I've always wanted to go down there for that too, since that was the day they opened. I can't remember exactly the first time we were down to Animal Kingdom, but it wasn't. We didn't make it down for Earth Day. I wish we had. Well, that's good, Brett. I'm excited too. I wish we were going down that early. If I could walk again, maybe we could be. We have got to make reservations. I want to try to figure out when we can go and when other people are going to be there, so I can meet a few people. Well, Dean, follow the happy. I thought you in the Target parking lot. Well, you said you had. I can't. No, I can't be praying to the false gods in your wallet, buddy. I mean, I'm a bit of a pagan as it is, but I don't. I try not to worship money as best I can. So you and your wallet may be on your own, unless you're going after turkey legs, and then I would give all my blessing. Ah, that's right. Swim lessons, not hockey or soccer. What does shot two mean? Oh, shot number two. Well, good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Have are all teachers in Michigan getting? Are you guys able to get your vaccines now, or just did you have mitigating circumstances? I think teachers should have been right up there below doctors and nurses and first responders myself, but that's just me. And the governor here never asked me anything, and I could give him so much good advice. Right, Brenda? Over 50? didn't think you were over 50. Oh, you don't look a day over 29. Actually, I don't know if I've seen you. But I don't look a day over 64. So, we both got that in common. My wife signed on and said good morning, but I think she left. I have a feeling she didn't hang around to chat. That's the support I get. Okay, Dean, you take care. Sometimes it helps well, you could leave that wallet in the car if you're really that concerned. That would be my best advice. Beyond that, I can't help you, brother. You're on your own. I've been wanting to get my wallet out a little bit and do some retail therapy, but my wife's kind of watching me close these days, so if she's on here, I got to whisper. 54, Carol, I swear. Sometimes I wish I was that young. I'd take 10 years back. I don't know if I'd want to go back to being a teenager again, but I'd probably take 10. I can think of a lot of things that might not have happened if I could. Although I'm not sure that many. So over 50, Carol, they're still not making any special allowances then for educators. That's a shame. I mean, I don't much blame teachers for being concerned. I don't know why I started yawning. Oh, by the way, just so you know, Teddy got top billing today, but he's decided he's not going to be on this morning, I think. You want to come up here and be on camera? Come here. He's had a couple of special treats this morning, and now that's all he can think about. And I think he's holding out for better pay. I keep telling him I'm not getting paid. Why should he? He ain't buying it. Maybe he'll hop up here in a minute. After I gave him top billing and everything, that's the gratitude I get. Cats, you just don't know what they're going to do next, do you? Okay, Carol, you be careful and holler at us next time you stop. Maybe while you're waiting on your shot. Maybe you could do a video of your shot and we'll put you online. What do you think about that? Too invasive? I'd kind of like to see if you make a grimace or not. That's kind of ugly to me, though, isn't it? So, Brett, what's that husband of yours up to this morning? I guess if you count Evie maybe sort of being online in the same room with Britt, then we kind of run the gamut today. We've got 1-year-olds to a 64-year-old. That's kind of sad. Which reminds me, Britt, hope you're still here. That was, I love that picture. We love that picture of Evie eating chocolate. And we were wondering if that was, I can't remember what day she was born. So I don't remember if that's a birthday cake or if she was just eating a cookie or what it was. But those were, I love those pictures. I had to show them to Brenda and share them around a little bit. They were, man, I can't stop yawning. I wasn't yawning at all before. Talking must do that. They were great pictures, Brett. I don't know. There's not much cuter than that's a child with cupcake talk about enjoying your food now, or at least the good parts of food. Maybe not her strained peas and stuff, but she certainly was enjoying that, whatever she was eating. Oh, a Girl Scout cookie. Okay. Well, that works. She was enjoying it, all right. The food's good when you're wearing half of it and eating the other half. That's it. So if I stay here and don't say anything, I won't yawn. That wouldn't be much fun, though, would it? If I had to stay here and not say anything, I wouldn't enjoy it near as much. And I'm pretty certain nobody else would either. Not that many people do now. Then again, maybe they wouldn't want to. Mr. James Ryan, my bestest friend from New York City and New Hampshire. Oh, from the Magic Kingdom. Now, that was cruel. You could have probably gone without saying that. No, seriously, I'm glad you're down there. Glad you stopped in to say hello, buddy. What are you so you're at the MK today. You got anything special planned? Come here, Teddy. Come here. Come here. Just for a minute. Here. Say hi. You were supposed to be on this morning. I can put your name on the script and everything. At that time. Yeah, I'm jealous and envious and all that stuff, but in a good way, James. I just wish I was there with you, buddy. I hope when I get situated and I can find a date when I can go, I hope you're available. Thanks, soft palate. Oh, man, that'd be fun. Do you know who all's going to be there, James? Anybody going to be live streaming? I'll have to tune in. I think Magic of the Mouse or Is Our Dreams going to be there, I think, today. I saw something about them streaming from Epcot. Well, thank you, James. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to that day. You just don't know how much, buddy. Get up the camera. Well, as soon as I know something, James, I will let you know, among others. I'll probably let everybody know. It's been a few years since we've been, so I'm really anxious to get down there. Changed or not. I'm sure you guys will have fun today. Yep, get on board. Talk to you later, James. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. You too. Enjoy Space Mountain. If you scream loud enough, we'll hear you. Well, that's fun. I'd like to be down there right now, I think. I'm not sure how much fun I'd really have, but just being there would be a hoot. I think I could just go hang out at the hotel and enjoy myself. You want down? Okay. Hop down. You want down? Nope. Okay. Oh, up here. It gets heavy after a while, I have to admit. So, Brett, are you guys staying on property, or do you know yet? Well, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you've had to make those arrangements already. Guys, I'm sorry about my busted tooth. I've got 2 or 3 broken teeth I'm getting fixed, and that's how come Mike Wheeler, of all people, gave me that gummy bear name. I guess I can't blame him. You guys didn't see Teddy a little while ago. He was, Key West. I never stayed there. That was the first, well, I'm sure you know this. That was the first DVC hotel, I think. Because I can remember when they used to talk about that when we first started going back with the kids. I'm not sure when DVC actually started, but Old Key West was certainly there when we went down the first time with the girls. I always thought it looked like a neat place. Is that where your DVC membership is? Or, you don't have to tell if you don't want to. But I know you guys are DVC, or I think you are. Like my old timey, there might be too much glare on it. My old Epcot center cut. I figure this probably dates back to the 80s, maybe the 90s. I always thought Old Key West was probably a quiet resort, but I don't know that for sure. It just seems like it's set up that way, and the I don't know, the cottages or however the rooms are set up, aren't they? They're smaller groups of rooms. They're not like 20 in a pod or anything, I don't think. But since I haven't been there, I can't honestly say that. I really wish we had Copper Creek. Oh, see, that's where I'd like to have been, at Fort Wilderness area, if I could have been. And I think if I hadn't gotten laid off back in '93, we probably would have been. Yeah, I have to admit, Polly is one of my favorites too. I love Wilderness Lodge. I do, and it's really hard for me to say it's not my favorite just because of the ambiance. I just love that lodge. But Polly is definitely at the top of my list, and actually so's the Contemporary. But I like the Contemporary because of where it's located, the fact that it was the first hotel, and I always kind of associate it with Walt being alive. And I don't know, it's the first place I ever thought, man, I got to stay here someday. But the Polynesian is just so, it really is kind of like it's just like being in, not Hawaii. I can't say that because that's not fair. But it's just, you feel more isolated there. You feel more separated from the world, I think. I don't know, just my feeling. But the lodge is kind of like that with me too. It makes me reminisce about, Yellowstone Lodge in the early turn of the century type period and that sort of thing. I've never been in the Copper Creek. Is Copper Creek the first set of villas they built, or do you know? They built a set, and I don't remember, maybe that was Copper Creek. And then I know they put in some more, and maybe they're all Copper Creek. Yeah, I agree, Brett. Having that lobby torn down and the monorail's not stopping there, I don't think, and that kind of changes things for me too. I don't know about you, but I hate that they tore the fountain and stuff out and changed the lobby. I really like that flower garden / waterfall that they had right there in the center lobby. I'm sure that was a lot of maintenance and probably other problems, but I like that. That was the first thing I remember about the Polynesian. The very first time I went there in 73 or 4, whenever it was, one thing we did do was get off at the lady that guy's sister, my buddy's sister, took us. And we were in high school, but she's the one that invited us over, and we were staying with her. we did stop at the Polynesian and get out because she thought it was a really neat place too, and it was just beautiful. But so I never forgot it. Maybe that's why maybe that's one of the reasons I like it so much. We've stayed there at least 3 times, I think. Usually short trips. I mean, it's always been expensive, but it's just so nice. And we love Ohana, and we like Kona Cafe or whatever it's called now. Actually, maybe it's Kona Cafe now, and it was something else before, but I always love their stuff. French toast. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I do too, Britt. That'd be nice. I mean, I'm sure they could. Uh, I haven't really heard what they're going to do, as far as remodeling goes, but I sure hope they go back to something kind of like that. It just seems, hot damn, buddy. It just seems so normal now. It's not as special as it used to be. At least that's my take on it. But it's still special. Don't get me wrong. I think we've not been in a few years, but the Wilderness Lodge, one of the things I loved about the Wilderness Lodge was all the displays they had set up around the lodge with everything from information about the Grand Canyon structure, which is about the fireplace, the chimney. But they also had all the Native American artifacts reproductions in there, and I did check on that one time. They were reproductions, but they were very. Oops, sorry about that, folks. I had a momentary freeze there, I think. Anyway, as I was saying, the artifacts or the reproduced artifacts they had from Native American tribes were, I thought, brilliant. They had some, and they were authentic, and they were correct. I mean, they were correct to time and well made and all that. And I just love going around and exploring that because that's one of my history niches. I just really love to study that Native American culture, and so I've always enjoyed that part. And I don't know, it had, that lobby always had the most, to me it was homey, as like you said, at Key West. I mean, it's huge and all, but I always felt like I could sit in the Wilderness Lodge lobby and just feel really comfortable. I mean, I didn't feel like somebody was watching me, or that I needed to move on, or somebody else wanted my seat, or whatever you might feel at some of the other hotels. But we just liked it. Brenda liked it. The girls liked it. I always liked that spring bubbling up, there towards where it goes down into the creek, and then the pool, which was always cool. Anyway, I loved it. It just, and then when they did build the villas, like I said, I'm not sure about the name, but when they did build the villas, I got really excited because the first one, when they put it in the lobby of it downstairs, had some of Walt Disney's original backyard train cars in it, which I was just enamored with because I've read about his trains and all that stuff, and studied up on that some too, and would love to have seen him doing that. That would made my day. But to get to see his cars, or some of the cars from the train, I've never seen the actual engine, but just to see part of it was amazing to me. So I used to spend some time down there too, which is probably part of the reason one of my favorite tours that we've ever done was, I don't think this was a surprise, but Brenda and I did the behind the steam trains tour one year, and they take you back to the roundhouse where they store and do maintenance on the trains, and show you a lot of stuff on the steam engines, and then they start it up, fire it up, and get it going, and you get to ride it up the maintenance track into the park, and they pull it into what was Toontown Station. And this is making me sad because the train's still not running. That breaks my heart. Anyway, they bring it up there and they do some early morning stuff that they do before everybody gets there. They bleed a lot of the steam off to blow the steam pipes out, and they do that a couple times a day over there. They've got if you ever look, there's a building there with a grate in it, and the train pulls up beside it and blows into that, so it's not getting steam all over everybody. But didn't know what that was for till they went on that tour, and that was really, really interesting. So somewhere I've got a poster of the Walt Disney World Railroad. That's one of their original ride design posters or whatever, shows the train and everything. And they gave us as a gift for going on that trip, a couple of railroad spikes, which in my lifetime, I've probably had a few hundred of them I've picked up along the railroad tracks. We used to walk the railroad tracks when I was kids. And so we were going to put that in like a shadow box, and we haven't done it yet. Still haven't done it. Want to get that done someday. And I may have bored everybody right out of the room because there's nothing happening. Although it says there's still 3 or 4 people watching, so maybe everybody's not gone. Please feel free to jump in and, if you get tired of my babble. When we do go down, I'm not sure where we'll try to stay at. I think we'll probably end up staying at, or try to stay at either Art Animation or the other one, which I can now. Oh, Pop Century. Brenda stayed at Pop a couple of times. Her and her mom stayed there, and her and Jennifer stayed there one time, and her and Jen went down for Jen's 21st birthday. That's been a while back, now that I think about it. God, that's a long time ago. Anyway, they stayed there. Hey, Carol, Carol, both. And she kind of likes Pop Century. I've never actually stayed there, I don't think. Anyway, since it's on the gondolas, I can't think of the name now. I'm drawing an old age blank here early on Saturday morning. Which reminds me, I got to keep my eye on the time. I got to make sure I'm done for coffee and contemplation today. Anyway, I think we might stay there just so we're close to that Skyway system. That's all brand new to us. We've not been on it yet. And if not, I'm not sure. I'd actually like to go stay in the campground again. There's the one thing I kind of wish we had before I retired was some kind of a camper, Skyliner. Thank you, Brett. If we had a camper, we'd probably stay at the campground every time we turned around if we could get there. We really enjoyed the campground, and let's face it, it is one of the cheaper places to stay down there. And I don't know, we've always enjoyed the campgrounds a great deal. It's really the nicest campgrounds I've ever been in. And we kind of like to eat over at the Trails Inn restaurant, buffet, whatever. And we've always loved Hoopty Doo Review. Not that you could eat there every night, but it's fun. And I don't know, we just always like staying over there. It takes longer to get places, and I'm not a big driver. I like to. We're kind of unusual. We tend to just let Disney do our driving for us, even if it takes a little bit longer. I try not to be in a hurry for everything we're doing, and we try to just kick back and enjoy the ride. Brenda always told the girls that the buses were the first ride of the day. So, and that's kind of how we felt about it. As long as we've been going, I don't think we've ever really complained about the buses being late. I'm sure there was evenings when we were tired and we had to stand in line and wait at one of the parks to get back to a hotel. But you're going to have that. You just kind of got to get used to it. It was really bad when Kelly was little, and I was carrying her about half the time. I remember several nights I had to stand up on a bus and carry her. And she was sound asleep on my shoulder. But I'd give anything to go back to those days and have those all over again. Josh, you and Josh both, I mean, you got two little ones. Enjoy them and enjoy Disney with them while they're little, because that's the most special time, without a doubt. The wonder and amazement that you can see in their eyes and hearing their laughter, and it's priceless. There's nothing you can do to beat that. Have you already had your shot, Carol, or are you sitting in line waiting for it? I don't know how they're doing them up there. If you go down here and go to a grocery store like Kroger Pharmacy, you go in and sit down, and you got an appointment time, which they seem to be staying pretty close to. And you go in there, and some of them have they usually around the pharmacy, some of them have I don't know what they call it, like a Minute Medic or something, and that's where I got mine the other night. Not all Krogers have that, but most all of them do have a pharmacy, and they usually have a room to the side that you can go in and give vaccinations in and stuff. Since I was in a cart the other night, not able to walk into the back of the pharmacy, the doctor came out, or head pharmacist, whatever he is, came out and gave me mine out in the aisle, which I was just fine with me. I didn't want to have to try to get back there anyway. So he was very, oh shoot, I'm really bad with words today. Words are hard. He was nice enough to come out and offer it to me out there, so I gladly took it. That's what I wondered, if you were at a stadium. See, some places around here they're not using stadiums. They probably could. I mean, there's football fields and parking lots and things at schools, and one county next door has got the baseball stadium at where the mount of the what are they called now? Smokey the Bears play, or whatever they're called. And but they're doing it at like county health offices, which have no parking lots, and people are lined up out on the street and impeding traffic. And a friend of mine went up the other day at 2:00. He had a 2:00 appointment, and he went down trying to find. He couldn't find. There was a line marked for testing, but they didn't have a line marked actually for vaccinations. So when he finally got up and asked somebody, "Where do you go and what do I need to do?" And they said, "We got to get in line back there in that car. All those cars you just passed. Get to the end of the line and come through." And he said, "Well, I had a 2:00 appointment. It was almost 2 then." She said, "That's okay. This guy just came through, had an 11:00 appointment." So they're not very efficient around here at all. Hopefully you don't have to wait in line that long. Mine was, I went in, got mine. I might have even got mine 5 minutes early. And, they just gave it to me and I was gone, which is great, I thought. Blue Nose. Good morning, Chris. I hope this day finds you feeling well and decent. So, Carol, do you stay in your car and get your shot, or do you have to eventually park, get out, and go inside the stadium? How are you feeling this morning, Chris? I hope you're feeling at least a little better. Always good to see you, buddy. I hope you didn't get up early just for me, though. I want you to get your rest. But since you are up, I am always honored to have you in here. I've been thinking about you a lot lately. I've been reading a book that you may have read before or you might like. It's called Open Cockpit. Did I happen to mention the cat was looking for a treat this morning? he's figured out that I've got treats in my drawer, and now he's well, you're not way too early, Carol. You're just a little bit early. I mean, it's less than half an hour. I don't, you know, that just, it's a little early. You know, that's kind of like what they used to call that. No, that's when you were just a little bit late. It's fashionably late. I don't know. Maybe there's not a fashionably early. I used to be the early guy, and then I got to where I was the late guy. I'm feeling pretty good this morning, Chris. Excuse me. Yawning, now I'm burping. Pardon my hillbilly manners. I had kind of a rough week. Felt rough all week, headaches, and I don't know if it was the COVID shot or not. I'm trying not to blame everything on the COVID shot because for the most part, I don't think I really had much of a reaction to it. My arm didn't even get sore. But I haven't felt very good this week. I'll be honest. That's why I've not been online much and missed a lot of chats and just generally behind and everything. But I feel pretty good today. I'm sure my hip will start hurting in a little while. My leg will be in pain, and I'll have to go sit down somewhere else or lay down, stretch out for a little bit on the floor or something. I usually have to do that a couple times a day. But, that's just part of the healing process. I think weather has something to do with it too. And our weather lately has gone from, 70s to this morning. It was down in the 30s again. And I don't know what it's supposed to get up to today, but it's also, a lot of low pressure bouncing through and some nasty weather. And it's been crazy, but that's what we get these days is crazy. But thought I heard something ringing. Well, I hope that's weather related, Chris, and not something else. You would know best about that, but Lord knows, brother, you've got enough things going on without being punished by headaches too. Sometimes I feel like, my little ailments are bad enough, and then I get something else going on. I think, God, what's next? But I don't hold a candle to you, son. But anyway, I was telling you about this book I'm reading called Open Cockpit, and finding it quite interesting. It's a first-hand account of, maybe you've read it, but it's a first-hand account of a British aero pilot stationed in France during World War I, and his exploits in the war and how little training he actually had, and how fast they were going through pilots back then. He was probably lucky he made it through, and actually went on to be a air marshal with the RAF and retired after World War II. So he survived quite a while considering what he was flying in. I don't know if you've got Kindle, but when I get finished with it on Kindle, I'd be certainly glad to share it with you. I think we can do that now. We'll figure out some way to do it. But it's so far it's quite interesting. I'm learning some things about aerial combat in that time period that I've kind of wondered about in the past, or just flying in general. I mean, they were still, you think about it, that was just a little over 10 years, less than 10. Started just about 10 years after flight was proven by the Wright brothers. That's another story. So far it is, and I found out he's written 3 books. I guess they're all about the war, so I'm expecting this one not to go all the way through. I can't remember the title to the other 2 right now, but I just sort of stumbled across it the other day looking through some stuff. Or actually that, they know how to get me. It might have been presented as something I might like on Kindle. And so I read a little bit of the sample and got hooked. But it's good. So far, it's a good read. It's interesting. I think I've told you before that I grew up hanging around a little country airport and grass strip. And it's kind of like these old, these aerodromes that these guys flew out of in France. Most of them are on farms, and, they put up some quick T-hanger type structures, and may have lived in the barn that was there and turned that into a barracks or something, and kind of made do. But they were all learning. Some of those, of course, eventually turned into bigger, larger, real airports. But this guy starts out the book by returning to that farm where the aerodrome was, which right now I can't remember the name, maybe can't pronounce right anyway. And it was still there, and some of the structures were still there, but a lot of stuff was gone, of course. The T hangars were gone. I think he said the barracks was gone. The mess hall was still there. The main orderly shack was there, that kind of stuff. But so far, it's an interesting book. But every time I pick it up and read it, I think about you. So, I'll definitely like to share it more with you, more of it. All right, Brett. I'll see you there. I'm sure some others will too. I'm gonna make sure I shut down on time and get over there today. Last week we hung around and just chewed the fat for a couple of hours, but this week looks like I got a feeling a lot of people are hanging out doing other stuff, waiting on coffee and contemplation this morning. So that may be why we're down on visitors, but that's okay because I can't wait to get there. Those guys helped get me started, so I feel indebted and grateful that they let me use this time slot. So I will be there. You take care. That'd be fun too, Chris. You look for them all over the world, or just in the United States, or both? Or hey, Lynn, you slept in. You might have slept in. You didn't sleep in that late. I guess you're getting ready for coffee and contemplation too, though, which makes me more honored that you had time to stop in and say hello. And at 11 o'clock, I'll be heading over that way and encourage anybody else in here to head over there and visit with the originators of this Saturday morning tradition. Oh, well, that makes sense, Chris. Yeah, when I first started going to Florida, I was absolutely amazed at the airports down there that were ex-military World War II bases. That place is full of them. And, they've all got 5,000 plus feet runways, and most of the time they've got at least 3 runways. And a lot of them are just county airports, and I think there's a lot of them still that just never really got used, that are just kind of sitting there. But yeah, your UK airports would be cool, or World War II bases, because they were scattered all over the place over there too. A lot of them are grass strips, though. So I mean, do some of them still show up as airports? Or I'm sorry, Carol, if we're boring you to death. This is, we just got into a little bit of gearheaded guy talk here. Aviation branch of gearhead. Well, I'm already down past the second cup here of a fresh pot, so you better hurry because mine's going fast. Wheels. Good morning, brother. Good morning to you too, sir. Glad you made it in. I feel like I really feel like my day has been made when the honorable Mike Wheeler has made it into your chat. I think that's a symbol of something. Pearl, sister, my sister from another. Good morning, ma'am. Wow, it's really early for you to be up. I am honored. So good to see you. Especially since I've not been the best brother lately. I've not been around to talk to you. Well, that's good, Carol. But, you throw in a topic in there, and I bet you money I can talk about it. And if I can, I'll make it up as I go, which will still be interesting. I'll make sure it is. I don't tell a lot of tales or lies, but I do come from a long line of tale tellers. So I can stretch the truth just a tiny bit if I need to. Maybe not, not so much what you call a lie. It's just embellishment of the truth sometimes. Well, that's great, Pearl. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. My day's going a lot better too. I was telling folks earlier, I didn't feel good this past week. I don't know if it was changing weather or just I had my COVID shot last week, but I swear I don't really think that was it. At least I don't want to. What do you think about that, Lynn? Isn't that good? This is another one of my coffee headbands or bandanas. It's not just a headband; it's a bandana that I rolled up. I got a red one and a black one from Death Wish, and I had to fold it and roll it up away so this would show. I mean, it'd just be a red bandana if the skull and crossbones didn't show up. See, this is the other one. This is the black one. In the center is get this right, is that logo. Oh, you guys would probably like this a lot better. I just realized my face is hidden, so that makes the whole picture look better. I don't know if it was the Super Bowl weekend or if it was some other occasion, but they had a 24-hour period. If you bought a headband, you bought one, get one free or something. So I had to jump in there and get one or two. That and my hat. I really like my hat. I just thought I'd wear a headband today or do-rag. But I like my hat, the back of it. I like it too. I'd be like Josh. I could wear it like Josh does and, see the back. But I tend to like, the bill and over my eyes so I can see when the sun's out. Yeah, I like the black one too, but sometimes I like to be just a little flashy, Pearl. That's okay, Lynn. I told somebody this earlier that words are hard, especially this early on a Saturday morning. Everybody says math's hard, but Jesus, words are tough, especially the right ones. I could do like one of my best friends from work when I was there. He used to. He knew there was a word for something, but he wasn't quite sure how to pronounce it, so he just made up his own pronunciations, and sometimes they were kind of funny, to be honest. But we usually knew what he was trying to say. Well, hot damn, Pearl, that's good. That means I'm doing something right. And that just made my day because making somebody smile is one of my absolute favorite things to do. A bandana or a hat, Mike? I've got some mouse ears here, some Mickey ears somewhere. I don't have like other people have, but I have a few. I've been thinking about all the stuff that's sitting over there on my bookshelf that's on the other end of the room, and I've got a whole area that's just dedicated to Disney stuff that I haven't shown on camera. Just anything from matching salt shakers to figurines to picture frames to cool little watch box that has a picture of a train on it. One of the original souvenirs I got down there was a Walt Disney World coin, which I need to look at and see if it's got a date on it, because it might just be. Yeah, I guess that would work. I could do that. I'll have to talk to my wife about that, or contact Meg. Maybe she could make me some for a bandana. It's got to be a little bit piratey, because I'm a bit of a pirate as it is. A little bit like Jimmy Buffett, only this pirate's looking at 64 instead of 40. Let's see here. We got 10 minutes, folks. I'm not going to be late today. I'm going to make sure I get over to Coffee and Contemplation with Triple P and our favorite lady, Miss Lynn, and they, especially Lynn, helped me get started in so many ways. And I asked her about using this spot when they weren't going to be on for a while, and she graciously said sure. And I'm glad they're back, and we'll work out something as far as sharing time goes, because I'd like to continue on. And doesn't absolutely have to be this morning, but it could be any morning. But Saturdays and Sundays would probably be the best. That way, some people have some place to go. I don't have any place to go. So, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. I can't remember all the words now. You see my pirate flag, Pearl, over here? Whoop, here. This is supposed to be. Oh, wow, that left and right thing's hard too on Saturday morning. Supposed to be one of the first. I do have the streaming bug, Mike. You're absolutely right. I got bit early, and I'll be honest with you. I came on to YouTube several years ago wanting to do motorcycle videos mostly because I didn't realize what the Disney community was like on here. So once I found it, it's just been something I've been missing, because I'm like so many others on here talk about, most of my friends and family never understood the Disney thing. And so anyway, back to the flag a minute, Pearl. That's supposed to be a representation of one of the first pirate flags. And it's Bartholomew somebody. I can't remember. I never can remember his last name. But he's supposed to be one of the first pirates. And, sort of officially recognized, or at least one of the first ones that bothered to fly a flag, a skull and crossbones type flag. And I'm going to tell you his full name right here in a second. Ooh, I bought too much stuff on Amazon already this year. Captain, no, it's not. I keep saying Bartholomew. It's not. It's Captain Emmanuel Wynn. So this is the first pirate flag. So maybe it is, maybe it's not, but they claim it is. So I've looked that up. Actually, I've seen that in several places now. And it's got a skull and crossbones, and right below the skull and crossbones is an hourglass. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be kind of like a Black Widow's hourglass or what, but I liked it because of that. The next one I get is going to be, I'm going to get on eBay and find one for my coffee. Death Wish Coffee used to sell a flag that had their logo, skull and crossbones on it. And I think that one's really cool. They don't sell one right now in their shops, but I have seen them on eBay, so I'm going to try to pick one up on eBay. Uh-oh, Mike. Headed to the store, buddy. Well, good luck out there. That's a tough spot. I used to hate to go to the store, but I hadn't been out so long. Going to the store seems like a fun, exciting thing to do these days. Take care, Mike. I'll see you later, I'm sure, somewhere. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Okay, I got about 7 minutes. Like I said, I promised not to run over today, so. Well, I don't know if they asked me to promise, but I told them I would, and I intend to keep that promise. So, Pearl, you got any big plans today? Let's see, I got to calculate here. It's just what, 8 out there or 7? Damn, you did get up early for this. Well, for Saturday morning. You mean every day this week, Pearl? Okay. Honestly, we probably would be too. If I have a small problem with shopping though right now, I can't do it really much. I've stayed away from it because of COVID anyway, for the most part. But I used to do our shopping when I was able, and then once I got gimped up, my wife was in charge, and she don't go unless she's damn good and ready, and she don't go any more than she has to go. She makes that quite clear. But when I was going back in the early parts of COVID isolation, I'd get up and try to go, try to be over there before 8, try to be over at 6:30 or 7. And for a while, the local stores, or at least Kroger, was opening up early, mostly for older folks, let's say. I can't remember what the age range was, but senior citizens, basically. And since I qualified for that, I tried to get over there then. And for the most part, it was a lot less crowded, and there weren't as many people there, and certainly weren't any young people there because they weren't getting up that early just to go grocery shopping. I mean, who would if you had to? But it was kind of nice too because it wasn't as crowded, so I was able to wheel around in the store, do the things I needed to do, and get out. Of course, that was also back when I couldn't get half the stuff I wanted because they didn't have it. Okay, folks, it's 4 till. I think it's time to move over to the other store. I hope everybody's had, at least enjoyed some witty banter. Cool, Pearl. That's probably a good idea. Everybody needs a little retail therapy once in a while. Or at least it helps for the most part. All right. Anyway, thanks for coming in. Pearl, thank you for getting up so early. Bless you for coming in. Carol, always a pleasure to have you in. You're one of my dependable regulars, let's say. And I really, truly appreciate that. Mike is gone, but Mike is too. And just really glad to see everybody. And Chris, you're out there. Thank you, brother, for coming in. And yeah, it's good to get out, Chris. If it's not always to the hospital, isn't it? That's pretty much all I've done lately too. So, I keep saying that. I'm not in your shoes, brother. I know a little bit of what you're going through, but I don't know much. We're always thinking about you, always in our thoughts and well wishes, and whatever prayers we send up to the gods definitely have you in them. So I will see everybody over at Coffee and Contemplation, I hope. And when you get over there, just tell them that the gummy bear sent you over and you got tired of talking about spiders and snakes. Lynn will appreciate that. It's not Coffee and Contemplation without a little spider and snake conversation. She'll know what it's about. Oh, thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time we float down the river next week. How about that? And I'll be here. In the meantime, see some of you, or all of you, I hope, over at Coffee and Contemplation this morning. And whatever you do today, be safe and have a great weekend. Love you guys. See you then.